From the News Channel 5 network, this is SportsLine.
Hey there, SportsLine on your television. Steve Laban here with you. Glad you are here with us on this Tuesday night on News Channel 5 Plus. Phone lines are going to be open for you tonight. 737-7767 is the number. We want to hear from you, and we have plenty of things to talk about. Colts win last night, so it is now a three-way tie atop of the AFC South. Texans, Colts, Titans, all 6-6. Kind of laid out for you last night what the scenarios are that the Titans need down the stretch, because they're not going to win many tiebreakers, so they're going to need some help, and they're going to have to win a bunch. 4 games to go here in the month of December, starting with the Broncos at Nissan Stadium at noon on Sunday, which you can watch over on News Channel 5. What do you think the Titans have to do in these final 4 games, and how likely do you think it is that they can make that run and cap it off and get into the playoffs? Want to hear from you. 737-7767. Concerns in the final month? Is it the secondary, which we saw get really abused and embarrassed in the fourth quarter in that game in Chicago, that the Titans just had to hold on against the Bears a couple of weekends ago? Is it all of a sudden the running game? Short yardage situation hasn't been great the last couple of weeks. Is it the Broncos pass rush coming in this week? Titans have been very good up front on the offensive line, but they haven't faced a guy quite like Von Miller, the NFL leader in sacks so far this year. They're going to have that opportunity on Sunday. Are they ready with Taylor Lewan and Jack Conklin? Tons of basketball going on tonight as well. The Battle of the Boulevard, 140th meeting between Belmont and Lipscomb. They played a doozy last week. Can Lipscomb get payback tonight? We can talk some college basketball. The local scene, Dana Ford has TSU playing very well early on in the season. I believe they're 8-1 now for the year, off to best start in school history. Belmont is a favorite in the OVC again. Lipscomb appears to be turning the corner with Casey Alexander now in year 3 over there. What do you think about college basketball so far this year? Bryce Drew at Vanderbilt, recruiting well. His team has been up and down so far. They're off to an early lead tonight against High Point at Memorial Gym. But what do you expect from the Commodores moving forward throughout the course of this season? In Tennessee, after a rough trip to Maui, they bounced back with a win over Georgia Tech. They're roughing up Presbyterian tonight. What do you expect from Rick Barnes' team as this season moves along as well? Predators at home tonight, too, taking on the Colorado Avalanche. And it's been interesting throughout the course of this year. The Avalanche have kind of been a dose of get-well medicine for the Preds. The Preds' first meeting with Colorado this year, they had lost 3 consecutive games on a West Coast road trip. They go into the Pepsi Center in Denver, they put up 5 goals, and they walk away with a win. Just last week, they were coming off a loss on another road trip. They go into the Pepsi Center in Denver, they put up 5 goals and win. Now over the weekend, you'll blow a lead against New Jersey on Saturday and lose in overtime. Then you lose on Sunday to a team that's really hot right now in Philadelphia. So back-to-back losses again. And here come the Avalanche into Smashville tonight. Can the Preds do it again? They are up 2-1 after one period. Victor Arvidsson with his 8th goal of the year. Think about this for a second. Victor Arvidsson had 8 goals in his entire NHL career before this season. He now has 8 on the season. He's playing really, really well. And James Neal back for the Preds after missing the last 4 games. He gets a goal. That's the difference so far as the Preds lead 2-1 at the intermission against the Avalanche. And we can talk college football. Obviously, bowl bids out this weekend. Tennessee coming to the Music City Bowl against Nebraska. Are you excited for that matchup? Are you a Tennessee fan that is just so disappointed with the end of the season that you can't be excited even about the opportunity to come watch them in a bowl game in your own backyard? Or do you embrace the fact that it's a matchup of two blue blood programs, Tennessee and Nebraska, and a game that you want to embrace, want to be a part of. Vanderbilt headed to the Independence Bowl. They'll take on NC State. Stop me if you've heard that bowl matchup before. Rematch of the 2012 Independence Bowl. But still, 2 wins down the stretch for Vanderbilt to get bowl eligible. That's huge for Derek Mason and his Commodores, and they're going to have a chance to have a winning season if they can beat NC State down in Shreveport on December 26th. Middle Tennessee, despite all their adversity and losing Brent Stockstill, they're able to win their last couple of games. They're headed off to Hawaii. How about that for Christmas? They're going to be in the Hawaii Bowl against Hawaii. So a true road trip for the Blue Raiders, although I imagine they'll take it to get the 5 days or 6 days out in Hawaii ahead of the bowl game. And then Western Kentucky, Conference USA champs, go to the Boca Raton Bowl against Memphis. But they'll be doing it without their head coach. No Jeff Brom, who was hired yesterday as the head coach at Purdue. Big news college coaching today as Matt Rule was hired as the new coach at Baylor. A lot of people wondering what Baylor would do after the whole Art Briles fiasco. Matt Rule has done an incredible job at Temple of putting that program on the map. They win the American Conference this year. They've been fantastic over the last couple of years. Couple of 10-win seasons at Temple football, and he's cashing in on that to go to Baylor. It's an interesting fit because he doesn't have much in the way of ties to Texas and football recruiting, but a really, really good football coach and a defensive mind, which with Baylor football in the Big 12 right now, if he could get the Bears to play some level of defense, that might be a pretty good combination, the way that league has been in recent years. And recruiting trail continues to go along. Huge day today for Tennessee. Butch Jones didn't satisfy people with the number of wins this year by any means, but he gets a huge commitment today. Trey Smith from Jackson, the #1 overall recruit in the state of Tennessee, #3 offensive lineman in the country, committing to Butch Jones today. 5-star recruit, staying in state, chose Tennessee over basically all the playoff teams. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. He picked Tennessee over them. So a huge, huge get for Tennessee. Butch Jones, again, maybe not satisfying people with the wins on the field, but he continues to win off the field when it comes to recruiting. And maybe at some point that'll just add up enough that the wins on the field come at the rate Tennessee fans expect. That's the hope, certainly. This gives them a little momentum back after the disappointing finish to the year. 737-7767 is the number tonight. We want to hear from you. Our lines are open. Call us up. Give us your thought. Titans, Predators, college basketball, Butch Jones, big day recruiting, the college bowl games, college football playoff. We can talk about that as well. Penn State, what a finish to the year. I wouldn't want to play the Nittany Lions if I were anybody probably other than Alabama right now. But they had 2 losses. You can see why the committee left them out. We could talk more about that coming up too. But do you think Penn State has a legit gripe? Big Ten champs, best league in the country this year. Multiple wins over top 10 teams. 9 straight wins to close the season. Should that have been good enough? And if it is for Penn State, who do you leave out? Is it Washington? Strength of schedule concerns about the Huskies? Or what about Ohio State? The team Penn State beat head-to-head, won the division over, and then won the Big Ten title. Or is the rest of Ohio State's resume at 11-1 with a road win out of conference at Oklahoma, a blowout road win at that, multiple top 10 wins, big wins on the road, is the rest of that resume good enough that the Buckeyes should have been it the way they are as the #3 seed? Love to get your take on that tonight as well. 737-7767 is the number. We're going to take our first break. We'll come back. We'll get into more of that college football talk and the playoff. And we'll break down some of this Titans stretch run, the playoff push, what they need to do as well. Probably hear from Derek Mason before the night is over as well here on SportsLine. Again, the phone lines are open, 737-7767. Open lines for you. We'll get to your calls and much, much more on SportsLine on News Channel 5 Plus right after this.